As when we bought this house, I don't think we realized how much financial undertaking it would take.
Transparency post. I regret buying a house.
Regret buying a home, and it was the biggest mistake of their lives.
A year ago, I became a homeowner, and it was single-handedly the biggest life mistake I have ever made.
Buying a home is supposed to be the American dream, but many people are regretting it. Let's see why. But wait, before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go.
I'm going to be really controversial when I say this, and I'm talking to all of our parents out there. Buying a house does not make you successful. Don't worry, I did it by myself at 30, and so I'm going to walk you through why I would never fucking do it again. Specifically in California or LA, and I mean by myself. I signed those documents as a single woman, first and last name, because that's how they do it. If you have a partner that would split that with you, I think that's a completely different story. Again, bought my house by myself in LA. Let's go over the pricing. I bought a townhouse in LA, a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom. It was $465,000. I bought it in 2021 because I thought that was going to be the cheapest thing possible. I had an interest rate of less than 3%. It was 2.99%. Things that I could not have factored in. HOA increasing. My HOA from month 1 went to $299, and then year 3 went to $486. The reason I'm talking about this is because my house is on the market. I am selling it for $535, okay? So I'm going to minus broker's fees, improvements, escrow fees, title insurance, and corrective worker repairs. With that being all added up, my profit at the end of the day for 4 years is $15,206. I put 10% down. That's $46,000, okay? If I would have taken that $46,000 and for the exact same time period, so don't be like, the market's not reliable, the exact same time period, February 2021 to June of 2024, I would have made a profit of $21,644. So the difference of that would be that I was up $5,000. And
Folks is realizing, bro, there is nobody to save you once you buy that house. You are like a business owner. You are stuck.
Most people that work for banking institutions know nothing about finances. I've been seeing a lot of creators come online and talk about how purchasing a home or becoming a homeowner has been one of the biggest mistakes financially for them. And shout out to this creator for coming on and speaking her truth. But I've been seeing this a lot, not just over the past several years, but this is actually a common issue and why so many people go into foreclosure or lose their home. And it is because of some basic math that nobody has taught us. See, when we're going in and speaking with these bankers, these lenders, these realtors, these brokers, no disrespect to them, but a lot of them know nothing about economics. A lot of them have very little financial education. They're just doing their job. See, let me explain. When you go and get approved for a mortgage, they're approving you based upon your gross income. Meaning if you make $50,000, $60,000, $90,000, $100,000, that is your gross. But you never make that amount of money. $50,000 does not go through your bank account. You have to look at what your net income is. So you still have taxes, you have FICA, whoever it is, you have your insurance you pay into, if you're paying into a retirement account. So out of that 50 to 100,000 or whatever you make annually, you're probably bringing home anywhere between 70, maybe 80% of that. But that lender has approved you based upon your gross all the way down to the penny. So if one thing changes in your financial world, whether it's your hours decrease or you take a pay cut, or if your what's called your PITI increases. Yes, when you get a mortgage, your principal doesn't increase, especially if you have the right loan product. But your insurance can increase, your taxes can increase. And PITI stands for principal, insurance, taxes, and interest. Now, the principal and interest may not increase, but the taxes and insurance do. So when we're going after that American dream and buying that house and we're stacking our wealth in that primary residence that we live in. So let's say you buy a property for $200,000 and it increases to $400,000 in value. The taxes are now assessed based off of the 400, which means the more your property is worth, the more the taxes increase. And this one little thing that nobody really knows, because the lender isn't telling you this, the realtor may not tell you this. Now, shout out to the realtors and lenders that do educate their clients on these things, because I have met some that do, but for the bulk of them, they don't. You know, not to mention if you go and get a new home built. See, when you go buy a new house, I see so many people get jammed up financially, because when you buy a house and get it built from the ground up, typically that first year you're only paying taxes on the dirt. Meaning if you bought the plot of land for $30,000, you're only paying taxes based off of the $30,000. But now let's say year 2 or 3, that property is worth $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Now you're getting a $25,000 annual tax assessment, even at $10,000. Because remember, you've calculated your expenses based upon what you thought your PITI was going to be year 1. Now, I'm not a realtor, I'm not a lender, I don't sell real estate, but I work with so many people who are looking to become a first-time home buyers, because I help them to understand their budget and what they can afford. And typically I tell people to never buy at the tilt of what your approval is. Now, I help people from an investment standpoint, and I help them get into investment properties, and the exact same concepts and principles are applicable. And this is why so many new and novice real estate investors get into bad real estate deals, or why they have bad experiences, is because they don't know basic math, or they don't go into it looking at the basic math and understanding how real estate works, how money works, how your income works. We are not taught these things. And so if you would like more information, be sure to like, comment, share, give me a follow, because I've been dropping information on like this over the past 7 years. I've traveled the country. I've written 3 books. I've done a TEDx talk. I have partnerships with colleges, banks, and universities all across the country, all teaching people about the basics of economics. So if you would like more information, or if you would like me to speak on more topics related or similar to this, be sure to drop it down below, tag me in videos, and I'm going to keep coming out here and educating you all, so that you don't end up in a financial ruin like so many people are doing, because we're taking advice from people with financial titles but know nothing about finances. So y'all already know, stay locked in. I'm not here to tell you whether you should or you shouldn't, if it's a good time or a bad time. All I'm simply saying is know your numbers. I'll see y'all at the top. Let's go.
Have you ever had buyer's remorse on a home you purchased? Maybe it was a gut feeling before closing. You were like, I shouldn't do this. Or after you moved in, it was like one thing after another went wrong, and you just have regrets. It definitely happens. What do you wish you would have known before you bought your house? What will you definitely find out about next time you buy? And how did you solve that problem? What was the solution? In most circumstances, buying a house that you regret means you're going to stay there from 3 to 5 years to regain some equity in order to sell it just to break even. And a couple of you are going to tell me, but I only lived in my house for a year and I got $100,000. That was several years ago. Or no, that's not happening anymore. 3 to 5 years. So what are your tips? How do you avoid buyer's remorse? My first one is to have a really good buyer's agent. But what did you miss? What did you miss on the house that you regret buying? Let us know.
I'm in the process of buying my very first house as a 28-year-old with no kids. I'm not married. I am in a relationship. I close in 7 days, and I feel like I should be super excited right now and happy, but in reality, I am terrified. And I am so nervous, and I want to back out, but it is literally way too late in the process for me to back out. And I've missed my last chance to do that. And so now I am just like sitting here and regretting my decision, but we're just gonna have to make it work. We're gonna have to figure it out. And yeah, I'm gonna be house poor. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford food. I don't know how I'm gonna afford gas. I don't know what I'm doing. Who let me do this?
Don't get me wrong, buying a house could be an investment, but I'm just saying, you gotta get to that point to where it is an investment. You gotta get through them trials and tribulations. license. If you don't make it through those trials and tribulations, boy, you're gonna be struggling.
I became a homeowner at 22 years old, and I instantly regretted that shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you why I regretted it, though. So, I ended up putting 78,000 down on my house, right? And once you get your house, right, you become house poor, okay? Now, everybody's not gonna be house poor. I was house poor. I'm speaking from my experience, bro. I'm young as shit, buying a house. I'm house poor at this point. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I did not really gauge all the maintenance that it took to take care of a house. On top of that, I had to put work into the house. They sold us the house, right? Sold the house with mold in it. How did I not know it was mold in it? Did you not get an inspector? Yeah, I had an inspector. This is what these dirty, nasty, gritty people did. Scantless, right? They painted over the mold so thick that the detectors couldn't get it. And it didn't even smell like mold down there, nothing. It was all dry, right? So I had to go in, get the walls chopped out, get the house waterproofed, whatever that came up to. So this is just more stuff you got to come out of. But all in all, I would say that I really regretted it once I figured out how much the maintenance was, bro. And like how often you got to do certain things. And obviously it makes it a little sweeter that it's your shit and it's an investment. But for me personally, I just was not ready for that. Now the house is about to sell. I actually don't know what I'm going to do with the cash that I do get from the house. Obviously, I might invest in another property. I think that's where my head's at. But just something to like rent out or something. You know what I'm saying? Not to live in. I can't do it. I'd rather live in an apartment. I'm going to be honest. You can call me crazy all you want. But I just feel like at this point in my life, I should be living in an apartment, bro. A house is a lot. It's a lot.
Alright, so everybody keeps asking me, Jalen, can you do a video on how you got your house, how you got your house? I'm not gonna do that because low-key, I regret buying my house. And let me tell you why. Well, first of all, my house is, there's multiple reasons. The first one I would say basically is because my house is kind of far from everything. Like I live on the outskirts of Houston. So it takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to even get into town sometimes. And it just, then on top of that,
I'm gonna keep it 100%. Home ownership is not what I expected it to be. Honestly, if I had my time back, I would never in a million years have bought a condo. I regret it so much. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life. Renting, you have that like stress-free, no worry in the world. If something in my condo breaks, it's my responsibility to fix that issue. If I'm renting, I just call up my property manager, landlord, whoever, and just say, hey, this is broken, this appliance isn't working. It's their responsibility to send somebody in and fix that ASAP. When you're a homeowner, you're the one that has to do the research on finding someone to come in. You're the one that has to take the time and make sure everything's working smoothly. It's such a headache. I'll give you an example. Today, I had the unit below my condo say that they have a leak in their washroom. It's my responsibility to call a plumber, contact the property manager, and make sure it's fixed. And when you're a renter, that's not my problem. Like, my landlord will fix that problem. I'm paying rent, and that's a wrap. That's where my responsibility finishes. If I could turn back time, I would never have bought. I would have just stayed a renter. And honestly, the extra money that I would have had, I don't have to pay property taxes, I don't have to pay for repairs. Extra money, I would have poured it into investments. And future me would have been a lot better off. Just something to keep in mind, home ownership the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Just a fruit for thought. You guys have a great day. Bye.
I'm going to say it. It might be a little controversial, but I'm going to say it. I don't think buying a house is all it's cracked up to be. I don't. I said it. There is so much pressure to settle down to buy a house, especially when you have children. And I just want to say it's not that easy for everybody. I think it's easier to settle down and find and like stay put when you have family or like you're super close with your family, like you have a hometown. Does that make sense? I'm so thankful for our house and so thankful that our kids have so much land to just run free. However, we know we won't be here forever. So, I know, I thought this was gonna be forever. We thought so too. But we live in an area where the schools are horrible. Bad. I will never send my kids to school here. So if I ever want to put our kids in school, we have to move somewhere else where the schools are better. Living in the woods is great, but it is hard being a mother, and I will say I miss the community. I miss walking around. I miss the community pool, the community park. So in 5 years or whatever, I hope that we can find something that makes Tyler and I both happy. And I'm not really sure I want to buy another house for a very long time. So I'd rather rent. And I know people say owning a house is cheaper. Not right now. Rent would be way cheaper than a mortgage, at least for us. We also can't just call up a landlord and be like, hey, this is going wrong, please fix it. No, we have to call a company and be like, hey, this is going wrong, and then we have to pay them money, lots of money. So that's just my 2 cents on buying a house. And I don't like feeling stuck, and buying a house makes me feel stuck. So don't ever feel bad for renting and just being in a rental, because honestly, I miss it.
I regret buying my new build home. I basically lost the past 2 months of my life dealing with this, and still no end date in sight. Only swipe if you are brave enough. Well, I'm brave. Let's swipe. Let's see what she's going through, man. Woke up one night to a flooded bathroom. Damn. Those nice floors, though. That audio is that traveled and flooded downstairs too, but it gets worse. The garage, whoa, the garage, no, go back. The garage ceiling collapsed. Look at that, bro. And she still has to pay for it. She can't just be like, oh, it broke. Maintenance. No, she gotta, damn. She can't just return it either. Walls cut out, but it gets worse. Floors had to come up, but also, it keep going. I'm sorry, baby. My wife doesn't like when I do that squeaky chip. She don't like when I do that. Ceiling and soaking insulation removed. But there's more, bro. Okay, The Price is Right. Is this you? What's the host of The Price is Right? I don't know your name. Billy Bob Thornton. Is that you? Skirting removed. Skirting removed. I can't see this pause button in the way. Skirting removed to reveal damp behind. Then I had to get my own, bro. It keeps going. Then I had to get my own damp survey done. Sheesh. Honestly, I'm at my wit's end. Some things have been fixed, but I still have no flooring in the majority of the house. 2 months dealing with that, and now it's ruining my birthday. Is next week, and it's still not finished. Happy birthday. That's a perfect birthday present. A flooded floor, garage falling through the ceiling, and water every fucking where. It's a perfect birthday. That couldn't be better. I'm so done with the situation that I actually cried today. Our whole experience, bro, you're going too fucking fast, TikTok. Let me read the damn thing. It said our whole experience has been ruined by something, but my experience is being ruined by this fast swiping. Okay. I'm so done that I cried today. Our whole experience buying a home has been completely ruined, and I'm just done now, man. What would you do if this happened to you? Me personally, I'm not buying a house till I just got them racks, till I'm just, oh god dang, until I'm just money, till I got that money and it ain't funny. I understand y'all buying houses, I get it, but look, until I get that money and it ain't funny, I'm in an apartment where I can start shit. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. All right, yeah, but yeah, I ain't got time for that. If something happened to me, maintenance, I ain't gonna lie, you can ask my wife. Our maintenance kind of rude, kind of asshole. I was gonna hit him upside the head with an iron pan because he was acting crazy. But we don't like him, so we don't call maintenance. We fix it ourselves over here. But when they get new maintenance, we will call maintenance. But we call maintenance over here because we got apartments. What would y'all do? Let me know. Let's look at some of these comments really quick. This is fucking crazy. Look, I wish they would do that. They should offer you a new home. Now, we know they ain't doing that. I'm sorry for clapping. Now, we know they ain't doing that. That would be nice. Rush construction and poor planning should be illegal. Not all new builds are like this, but it sucks that so many are. I hope things get better for you.
All right, food's ready.
Food's ready. Oh, hold on, y'all. That breakfast was good as fuck. Hey, man, congratulations to the folks who bought their house at a young age. That is a good thing. I'm not trying to say, but you just got to realize, bro, it sounds like a blessing until this stuff happens. Like the stories that we're watching, man, it's like, it sounds cool. Oh yeah, home ownership, the American dream. No, man, no. It sounds good on paper. And just like it's like this for some people with marriage. My marriage is good, but some people, man, they get married, always all happy at the wedding, and behind doors you getting beat or you can't eat. They got you chained up to a chair. I don't know. She didn't do that to me. No, I'm playing. But yeah, man, hey, you got to realize it sounds good in the beginning, but it ain't just good in the end. You got to realize you need to stick through this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all know anybody who has a house, or if you have a house and you see the trials and tribulations, stuff breaking, water leaks, plumbing, pipe damage, height, and it, Mike, man, let me know in the comments. To the next one, I'm gone.